Alright, let's get our hands dirty. You've probably heard the word torrent whispered around the internet, maybe with a hint of mystery or mischief. But what is it really? Forget everything you think you know. A torrent isn't the file itself. It's not a movie, a game, or a song. Think of it more like a recipe card or a treasure map. This tiny little file ending in torrent holds all the instructions your computer needs to find and assemble a much larger file from a whole bunch of different places online. It's like building a giant Lego castle. You don't get the whole castle delivered in one box. Instead, you get a single brick from one person, another from someone else, and a different piece from a third person. Your computer follows the instructions on that little torrent file to collect all those bricks and snap them together in the right order until voila, you have the complete castle. Imagine 100 people all trying to get water from a single tiny faucet. It would be slow, right? Now, imagine those same 100 people could get a cup of water from anyone else who already had some. The process would speed up dramatically. That's the core idea behind torrenting. It breaks down the big download into a team effort. This collaborative approach means you're not just taking, you're also potentially giving back, sharing the pieces you've already downloaded with others who need them. So, how does this digital barn raising actually work? It's all based on something called a peer-to-peer or P2P network. In a normal download, you have a client-server relationship. A P2P network throws that model out the window. In this world, every computer in the network is both a client and a server. They are all peers, equals in the system. You download from others, and others download from you. It's a beautiful, chaotic, and incredibly effective dance of data. In this dance, you have a few key players. First, you have the seeders. A seeder is someone who has the complete, fully assembled file. They are the generous ones, the pillars of the community. Their only job is to upload or seed the file pieces to others who need them. They are the heroes of the torrenting world. On the other side, you have the leechers. Now the name sounds a bit negative, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. A leecher is anyone who is actively downloading the file but doesn't have all the pieces yet. But here's the clever part. As soon as you download your first piece of the file, you can start sharing that piece with other leechers. So, you are both taking, leeching, and giving, seeding at the same time. But how do all these seeders and leechers find each other? That's where the tracker comes in. The tracker is like a matchmaker or a traffic cop for the torrent. It's a server that keeps a list of everyone who is currently sharing or downloading that specific file. When you open your torrent file, your computer contacts the tracker and says, "Hey, I'm here for the party. Who else is here?" The tracker then provides you with a list of IP addresses for other peers. It doesn't handle any of the file data itself, it just makes the introductions so your computer can connect directly to others and start trading pieces. Now let's bust a myth. When people hear torrenting, they often jump straight to thinking about illegal downloads. But that's like saying all cars are getaway vehicles. It's just not true. The technology itself, the BitTorrent protocol, is just a tool. And like any good tool, it can be used for amazing, perfectly legal, and incredibly positive things. Consider the world of open source software. Developers create amazing programs and operating systems like Linux distributions, think Ubuntu or Fedora, and they want to give them away for free. These are big files, often several gigabytes in size. If millions of people tried to download the new version from a single server at once, it would crash and burn. Instead, these developers offer an official torrent download. This allows the community to share the load, distributing the software quickly and reliably to everyone who wants it, all while saving the developers a fortune in bandwidth costs. Scientific and academic communities also embrace torrenting. Imagine researchers sequencing a new genome or astronomers capturing terabytes of data from a space telescope. They need to share these massive data sets with colleagues all over the world. The Large Hadron Collider, for example, generates an incredible amount of data. P2P technology is one of the methods explored for distributing this data to physicists globally. Even video game companies use BitTorrent technology. When a popular online game releases a big update or patch, they have to deliver it to millions of players simultaneously. Many game launchers have a P2P option built right in. The launcher downloads the patch pieces from both the company's servers and other players who are also updating. This gets the update to everyone faster so they can get back to playing. Okay, so we've established that torrenting is a powerful tool, but with great power comes, you guessed it, great responsibility and risks. You can't just dive into the P2P world without knowing the potential hazards. It's like walking into a workshop filled with power tools. You need to respect them to avoid getting hurt. The biggest and most common danger is malware. Since you're downloading files from anonymous strangers on the internet, you can never be 100% sure what you're getting. A file that claims to be a harmless program could easily be a Trojan horse, a virus, or ransomware in disguise. This is a very real threat. Cybercriminals love to bundle malicious code into popular-looking torrents. They know people are looking for certain files, so they create a fake version packed with nasty surprises. Once you download and run it, your computer could be infected. Your personal information could be stolen, your files could be held hostage, or your computer could be turned into a zombie to attack other systems. Then there's the issue of copyright infringement. This is the big one that gives torrenting its reputation. The BitTorrent protocol itself is perfectly legal, but using it to download and share copyrighted material, like movies, music, and software you haven't paid for, is not. It's illegal in most countries, and the consequences can be serious. This can lead to warning letters from your internet service provider, or in some cases hefty fines and legal action. Copyright holders and their representatives actively monitor popular torrents. They can see the IP addresses of everyone participating in the swarm. Finally, your own ISP might not be a fan of your torrenting activities, even if you're downloading completely legal files. Some ISPs will throttle or intentionally slow down your internet connection if they detect heavy P2P usage. So you have your tiny .torrent file, your treasure map. What now? You can't just double-click it and expect a movie to start playing. You need a special program to read the map and do the digging for you. This program is called a torrent client. Think of it as your digital shovel and toolbox, all in one. A popular and well-regarded one is qBittorrent, which is open source and ad-free. When you open a .torrent file with a client like this, it immediately gets to work. First, it reads the metadata in the file to identify the tracker's address and get a unique identifier for the file you want, called a hash. It then contacts the tracker, announces its presence, and gets that crucial list of other peers. The client then begins reaching out to those peers to start negotiating for pieces. Your client doesn't just download the pieces in order, from start to finish. That would be inefficient. Instead, it uses a rarest first strategy. It identifies which pieces of the file are the least common among the peers it's connected to, and prioritizes downloading those. A good torrent client also gives you a lot of control. You can see a dashboard with all your active downloads showing you real-time information like download and upload speeds, how many seeders and leechers you're connected to, and an estimated time until completion. You can also prioritize certain downloads, set limits on your upload and download speeds to not hog your internet connection, and decide which files within a torrent you want to download. It's a powerful control panel for your P2P activities. Here's a critical piece of the puzzle that many people misunderstand. When you are torrenting, you are not anonymous. Not even a little bit. In fact, your activity is quite public. Remember how the tracker works? It keeps a list of IP addresses. An IP address is a unique number assigned to your internet connection, kind of like a digital street address for your computer. In a torrent swarm, your IP address is visible to every single other peer you are connected to. There is no built-in privacy in the BitTorrent protocol. This visibility is how copyright holders catch people sharing protected content. They can join the swarm just like any other peer, but their goal isn't to download the file. Their goal is to log the IP addresses of everyone else who is participating. They collect these lists of IPs and then match them to customers through the internet service providers. Once they have your information, they can send a DMCA takedown notice or a settlement letter through your ISP, or even escalate to a lawsuit. Your internet service provider can also see what you're doing. While they might not know the exact contents of the files you are transferring, they can easily identify the signature of BitTorrent traffic. Because of this lack of privacy, some users turn to tools like VPNs or proxy servers. A VPN encrypts your internet traffic and routes it through a server in another location, effectively masking your real IP address from the other peers in the torrent swarm. However, it's crucial to understand that even this isn't a silver bullet. The choice of VPN matters, and it doesn't change the legality of what you're downloading. It's simply a tool for privacy, not a license to break the law. So after all this building and testing, what's the verdict on torrenting? Is it a villainous technology designed for digital pirates, or is it a misunderstood tool for the masses? The truth, as it so often is, lies somewhere in the middle, but leans heavily toward the latter. The BitTorrent protocol is, at its core, a brilliant and elegant solution to a common problem: how to move very large amounts of data across the internet efficiently. It's a triumph of decentralized, collaborative thinking. It democratizes distribution, taking power away from single, centralized servers and giving it to the community. The technology's reputation has been tarnished by its association with copyright infringement, and that's a real issue that shouldn't be ignored. But to condemn the entire technology for the actions of some of its users is a failure of imagination. It's blaming the hammer for the broken window instead of the person who swung it. We've seen its powerful, legitimate uses in science, software distribution, and even by large corporations. These applications prove its inherent value to the digital world. The key takeaway is this: torrenting is about the how, not the what. The protocol is simply a method of transfer. The morality and legality of the act depend entirely on what you are sharing. Sharing an open-source operating system like Ubuntu with the world? That's a fantastic use of the technology that helps a global community. Sharing the latest Hollywood blockbuster you didn't pay for? That's crossing a legal and ethical line. Ultimately, torrenting is a testament to the power of peer-to-peer connection. It shows that by working together, we can achieve things that are difficult or expensive to do alone. It's a system built on sharing, where contributing back to the network is just as important as taking from it. When used responsibly and legally, it's a force for good, a way to spread knowledge, software, and massive datasets freely and openly. So don't fear the technology. Instead, understand it, respect its power, and use it wisely. It's one of the most interesting tools in the entire digital workshop.